Well, I've just recorded a video, tried to upload it, and it's been blocked. It was this 1 hour 23-minute beauty, and then you click upload to YouTube. You go through the process, and if you don't do this, you get the monetization options once you've met their criteria, and then you can select how you want your video monetized. And I generally go for the skippable ones or the non-skippable ones at the start and the finish, but I don't tick the box for during the video because I don't like being interrupted. But obviously that makes more money. But again, these are the choices that different YouTubers make. And then when you get to this stage, the checks, the standard YouTube checks, and then here we go: copyright protected content found. No one will be able to watch your video. Now, again, this is content from F1 TV. Sometimes it goes through, sometimes it doesn't. I assumed the way that I was using it because I was pausing it very quickly after, say, 10 seconds or so of each kind of playthrough of footage, but they've blocked all that effort. Anyway, what I will show you is something that will be a very short encapsulation of what I was trying to demonstrate. So this is the 2011 Singapore Grand Prix. Now this snapshot encapsulates a lot. Ignore the fact that we're on lap 61 of 61. This could happen at any point, generally in the latter stages of a Grand Prix, because you're not going to get the leaders coming and lapping cars straight away. It takes a few laps for them to build them advantages up. But you're seeing ahead of you a set of cars. Now, what you've got here is Nico Rosberg, which is in a Mercedes at the time. He's in 7th. Adrian Sutil in 8th. Felipe Massa in 9th. And then it's Sebastian Vettel in 1st and Sergio Perez in 10th. Now, literally within the last 20 seconds before this freeze frame, Massa had been battling with Perez and has overtaken Perez and has just got ahead of him for 9th. So we've got 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. That is the battle for these 4 top 10 positions. The race leader with the yellow nose Red Bull there, Sebastian Vettel, has come by. The reason why this gap is here, because they literally were wheel to wheel, but he will have now got blue flags, so hence Vettel has cruised by him, given a little bit of a gap there, but then Massa would get these blue flags. This is a snapshot. Forget the fact that it's lap 61 of 61. Let's say this is lap 40 of 61. And we're in this situation. At this moment in time, the car in 15th position crashes and blocks the track or is a danger, and they deploy the safety car. What happens is these 3 cars, 7th, 8th, 9th, off they go into the distance. The safety car comes out and sits in front of Vettel here, and 10th place, which is Perez, who was fighting for 9th, 8th and 7th. Look at how close he is to get in 9th, 8th or 7th. Perez has to sit behind Vettel. Okay, he has to sit behind Vettel. Now, back in 2011, they used to go racing like that. These 3 cars would disappear off into the distance. They would go all the way around the track and they would link up with the back of the snake. And from being in this position, this fight, okay, 4 cars fighting over them 4 top 10 positions, the one in 10th would be excluded from that fight just because the leader had come round and had got himself past this car here. Had that crash happened 20 seconds later, then it'd be past the Ferrari. And it'd be the Ferrari that was excluded from here, along with Perez. So that is what used to happen. And this is why they evolve the rules. They tell you it is, and this is the lying Sky Sports will tell you, the purpose of releasing the back markers, because they'll now call Perez a back marker. Oh, the back markers have been lapped. The purpose of releasing the back marker is so that he doesn't interfere with the fight between the leaders. Where is the fight between the leaders? Okay, where is the fight here? The fight is 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. That's the fight. You can see that on track. Where's second? Well, second is God knows how far down the track. He's not in picture. There's not a fight between first and second here. Okay? He's not interfering with that fight. He's in his own fight here. But when the safety car is deployed, these three cars disappear off around the track, and this one is held back. Back in those seasons, I think it was 2010 and 2011, they restarted racing like this. And so competitor 10, Perez, his race would have effectively been over because the lap time around Singapore is about 1 minute 50. You're not going to make 1 minute 50 up when you're less than a second behind the guy prior to the safety car. Which means that effectively, if nobody else in that race crashes, you fixed his position in 10th. You've let a safety incident fix his position in 10th because he's got no way of competing with them 9 cars ahead of him. So what has happened is they have made changes to the regulations. They look at the impact of those regulations. They look at the reason. They look at the why. Always focus on why. What is the reason for this? Why do they do what they're doing? What is the purpose of this regulation? Okay, and the reason that they are lying to you with from Sky Sport is hype. Okay, because it's to get them out of the way of the race between. Is a total lie. It's a total lie. This is the reason. As you can see in this picture, there are 4 cars in a fight. The leader has come round and disrupted that fight by lapping one of them cars. That fight, this one would be eliminated from that fight if there is a safety car now. And you cannot allow a competitor crashing, a safety incident, to impact a race in that way. The teams will have realised this. The FIA will have realised this. And hence, they reintroduced the fact that they released the lap cars. They release the lapped cars and then they give them that further lap of the safety car with which to try to catch the back of the pack. And the race director has it within his discretion to keep that safety car on track until the point that he is satisfied that this car 10th is back in a position where he's not been left in a disadvantaged position. That is the why. That is the clear why. Now, we have people on this channel that will seek to argue that why. And their arguments are ridiculous. And when you point them out in the comment section that their arguments are ridiculous, they want to continue arguing. They want to project that they have the knowledge and that I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't present the valid reasons. It's what they think which is the valid reason. No, but I think this. No, but I think that. Look, I don't care what you think. I'm explaining quite simply the clear reasons. If you're not willing to accept them for what they are and you seek to continually argue, off you go. I'm not going to engage in an argument with somebody that clearly does not know what they're talking about. And I'm tired of people jumping up in the comment section and projecting that I'm presenting misinformation and they're the ones that are articulating factual information and truth, when the reality is you're just putting forward opinion which has no basis, which has no reason, which does not address the why, does not address the real purpose as to why this has taken place, why it is done this way. That is the key. There is a reason, there is a why. There's always a why. And this is what that why is. 4 cars battling for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. The leader has come round and started lapping these cars. Okay? If this were to happen in 40 seconds time, all these cars would now no longer be able to challenge for 6th if they were held back, because 6th would be the one that disappears off around the track. And they would then be left a lap behind 6th. Just because the leader comes round and laps you, it does not eliminate you from that race. That is the why. You are still competing. You, Perez, are still competing for 4. You're in 1 point at the moment. Could you get 2? Could you get 4? Could you get 8? That's what your contest is. It doesn't mean you're just now a back marker that's in the way of a race between 1st and 2nd. That's not how it is. So Brundle is lying to you. He has lied to you for 10 years. He's a hype job. Okay, my video that was an hour and 23 minutes long that has been blocked was evidencing to you the fact that the sport does not educate you. It does not doesn't show you what you need to be looking for in the sport of Formula 1. It doesn't show you the intricacies of the sport. It doesn't want you to know. It likes to keep you uneducated, because if you don't know, it can convince you of anything. And this is so dangerous. This is what has happened. The misinformation, the lack of education has enabled them to get away with what they've done. And what they've done, they've convinced fanboys, people that really have no clue about what the sport is all about, but they have a favourite driver and they like to see crashes and they don't like black people because that's in their very nature. Okay, so they've got all these reasons that contribute to them having their desires for wanting a certain outcome. And because they got that outcome, they will fight to the death to try to keep fighting for that outcome to be valid with no validity whatsoever. There is a clear why. There is a reason why things are the way they are. Okay? This is that clear reason. This is the explanation as to why lapped cars are released and why that mandatory safety car lap has to be performed in order to give them the chance. It's about sporting fairness. Okay, sporting fairness for this fight between 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th is totally obliterated if what is now a lapped car isn't released and isn't restored to the position that he was prior to this safety incident. You're going to let 2nd place, wherever 2nd place is, you're going to let them catch right up to 1st. But you're going to deprive 10th from being in a fight with 9th. You can't do that. It's about applying the situation uniformly across the board to all competitors in that event. That is called sporting fairness. There will be people in the comments section that will deny that sporting fairness has anything to do with the regulations. That is how small-minded these people are. There will be people that try to articulate themselves and present themselves as being knowledgeable, yet not be able to come up with a valid reason. Okay? Always look at the why. If you don't understand something, don't just rely on what's said to you. Analyze it. Is the reason given valid? Okay, is that reason valid? Does it make sense? Because Martin Brundle's reason of, it's just to get them out of the way of the race between the leaders. Who determines who is considered to be a leader? If you're in a point scoring position, are you determined to be a leader? Is it just the first 2 that are the leaders? Is it the first 4 that are the leaders? Is it just the top 8 that are the leaders? Okay, this is just, where do you draw the line? And the actual fact is you don't, because every competitor is treated the same. the same conditions apply to every competitor, as shown in my long video where the restart after any safety car incident or any red flag takes the form of all the cars being assembled in the correct race order with similar gaps between them all. Okay, fair conditions for all competitors to resume racing. It's as simple as that. Anyway, at least you didn't have to sit through an hour and 23 minutes of it, and it got a similar point across in a short period of time. Cheers for watching, and there'll be another one along soon. Cheers.